Hey there. There's a wave of trauma rippling around the planet right now. Trauma is a really big subject, but right now I just want to give you a really quick tool to help you manage what's happening in the nervous system. Because trauma isn't so much about what happens, the events, they can be very traumatizing, but what leads us to have trauma that stays in the system is really what happens within us and if and how these traumatic experiences get processed. So I want to just give you a really quick tool that you can start working with right now, today. You can work with it on your own or with people you're with. You can even teach it to children. And it will slowly but gently help your nervous system ease out of the fight, flight, freeze and other survival responses into rest and digest. And this is when, we can rest, we can digest our food, but we can also digest what's happening to us. So the language of the nervous system is through touch. So it's extremely important for us to be around people where we feel safe. What we're trying to do is get an embodied sense of safety, like in the body. So we're going to touch parts of the body in a way, in locations where we have access to certain parts of the nervous system that help the body go from fight, flight into rest and digest. So I'll just run through it really, really quickly and please just kind of experiment with it. So it doesn't need much time. On each of the places we're gonna touch, it only really needs maybe 10, 15, maybe even 30 seconds. But if you can do this at least twice a day, or if things are really intense, just keep doing it throughout the day, or just keep doing parts of it that feel safe. Because even if you don't feel right now in this moment that things are really calming down inside, you are supporting the nervous system, maybe in a way that you're not fully aware of. And the more you can do this, the more you build resilience in the nervous system. Because what we want to do is get the body into a state so it can really process some of these extremely intense experiences and emotions that we're having right now. So very simply, we're going to start by massaging and tugging on the ears. So very simply, just take the ears, just with your hands, and just start massaging around the outer edges of the ears, like the creased part. Just kind of massage it with your hands, with your fingers, and the lobes of the ears. And just kind of tug the ears. You can kind of pull them away a little bit from the skull, but just the invitation is to be really gentle, really, really gentle. And what we're doing is we're sending a signal to the nervous system at one of the key places where it's picking up signals of safety, that right now it's safe. All we're trying to do is give the nervous system even micro moments of safety, even just that. So once we've done this for maybe 15, maybe 30 seconds, we then move our hands to the next place. And that's where we cover the eyes. And I just want to mention here, the step is that we cover our eyes very much like with a child, like playing peekaboo. But if this doesn't feel safe, then don't cover your eyes. Instead, keep your eyes open and maybe just let them rest on something that does feel safe. Maybe somebody that you care about. Maybe look at somebody you care about, or rest them on, like a child, or just something that somehow brings calm. But if it does feel safe, then simply we're kind of shutting out a lot of the external stimulation. So we can just rest here for a few moments. But again, if it suddenly feels that you're being kind of swamped by internal images and that's uncomfortable, then just release the hands and come back to here and now. Come back to here in this space and just make contact with what's here right now. And especially if you're with someone with whom you feel safe, just connect with that person. The next step is, after the eyes, is just to slide the hands down and just cup the chin, just like this. Just like if you were holding the face of a small child. Maybe you've done this to a small child and you know how beautiful it feels. Again, here we're just giving a little micro moment of safety to the nervous system. We're saying, I've got you. I'm here. I'm holding you. And what might happen as we're doing this, you might notice some of the signals that the nervous system is moving into rest and digest. I just notice the breath is deepening much more in the belly. You may notice a yawn or a sigh. And then the next step is to move the hands down and rest them on the heart. And if you're feeling a little bit of safety now, really allow yourself to just feel this sense of safety, embodied in this sense of safety. And I know sometimes when the nervous system is extremely activated, there can be a lot happening, a lot of sensations in the body. But sometimes even just resting our hands here, we're signalling to the body, I'm here, I've got you. And then the next place, we're going to take our hands and just move them down to the belly. And again, this is another place where we kind of intercept this part of the nervous system that allows the nervous system to go into rest and digest. And again, maybe you're feeling a lot of symptoms and sensations in the belly. And this can help those symptoms calm down. And this is where we can start to really digest our food and also a lot of the experiences that are happening to us. So the recommendation is to do this each step for maybe 15-30 seconds twice a day. And really, even if you don't feel it now, even if you're not noticing the yawn or the sigh or the deepening of the breath, there is something happening in the nervous system, and very likely the nervous system is really on full alert. So just be really gentle with it. And also, if you can do this with others, that might be really nice to do, to kind of really support each other, to really kind of feel as safe as possible in the body. And I guess the last thing is, well, you know, as a trauma intervention, this is really important to do kind of in the moment, but really the recommendation is to do this twice a day, every day for 60 days. And the nervous system really can calm down. And when I was in the thick of trauma myself, I was doing it all day, every day, just really sensing that little by little the nervous system was getting into a more stable rest and digest state. But also, even if you don't notice a lot happening now, you are slowly but surely building resilience in the nervous system. So the next thing is just give yourself a hug. Just give yourself a really, really good hug. This also really helps. It kind of sets a boundary for the body, saying this is the limit of it. Because these feelings can feel so big in the body. The more we can kind of contain it in this way, it can feel much more safe. You can even kind of hold right under the armpit on one arm. And if you're around people with whom you feel safe, then just hug each other. So important. So important to support one another like this. Okay, I'll leave it at that, and I just wish you all the best. Just be safe and take great care of yourself and your nervous systems. Take care.